one.
You're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on tequilaaficionado.com. I'm Alex Perez.
I'm Mike Morales, and these are my headsets.
And they are some dandy headsets you got there.
Don't you just like them, huh? Do I look like a professional? Actually, I look like a test pilot. What are we testing? What are we test flying today?
We are test flying Don Fermin. We tried the Blanco. Yeah, there it is. There's the Blanco.
There's the Blanco. Well, that's the Reposado. This is what. Yeah, this is the Repo. Look how light it is.
The color, yeah, it is light. I thought it was the Blanco. Well, I guess if I take this thing away, it looks dark.
Well, you know, we nominated it for a Brand of Promise just in the packaging alone.
Now the Blanco, we actually liked the Blanco. The Blanco was very good. You know, 2 out of 3 items. Obviously, the packaging was great. The mouthfeel, the taste was very, very good, but it fell flat on the nose.
Yeah.
In regards to bouquet.
It did not deliver on the nose. Otherwise, once it got past the lips, outstanding tequila. Outstanding.
So let's see how the Repo fares. It's got a nice light, actually kind of an light amber color. Huh?
Yeah. Now, what did you say this was aged in, and for how long?
I think it's French oak. It didn't say. Didn't say for how long.
Okay. Well, as a Reposado, what?
Too much information.
Yeah.
It's got to be, you know.
What, 6 to 8 months? You know.
Months, yeah.
Because it's not. It's got a nice deep color, but it's not. I mean, well, not that deep either, because depending on your lighting, you know, it's a little bit light. It's deceiving. You know, it's a bit lighter than it actually looks. This whole brand comes with a Blanco, Reposado, Añejo, and Extra Añejo. We only got the Blanco and Reposado. I think they're being relaunched and redistributed in Southern California, and that's where we obtain these samples from Glass Bottom Distributors in Pico Rivera. Beautiful downtown Pico Rivera.
Beautiful. It's got some little legs. Got some midget legs.
She's tiny. She's tiny.
Well, actually, now they're coming down. Wow, it took them a little while. It was hanging for a little while. Those chicks were hanging for a little bit.
She doesn't like to show her legs right away, I guess, huh?
Now again, the bouquet is rather muted, but
I'm getting more wood on this one though.
There you go. Down in deep, you can sense there's a lot more going on now. So very rich. I can actually get some wood tones, some vanilla.
Now,
it actually smells like a heavy Repo.
Yeah, it does. I get, like you, I'm getting the vanilla, and maybe some caramel.
Yeah, caramel, definitely caramel. Wow, it's got a deep nose.
Now, the website for the distillery doesn't give a whole lot of information. It gives very minimal aroma and flavor notes. Nothing worth repeating, nothing that we haven't found out already. According to their Facebook page, and I sorry to give you my back here, but my computer's back behind me here, but it says that Don Fermin is a unique and innovative process that entails bringing all of the science and experience into play of each step of the process, yada, yada, yada. Homogeneous cooking of the agave juice, optimum fermenting conditions. What's that?
Homogeneous?
Homogeneous. Yeah, this is their words, not mine. Optimum fermenting conditions. Now, the interesting thing that they mentioned in the Facebook page is continuous column distillation. And I've seen column distillation. That explains a lot of the smoothness that you and I tasted in the Blanco. It was smooth enough to take the edge off, still keep the finish without being suspect of using the diffuser, because this Distillería Leidos, it's 1489. In the previous episode, we talked about all the controversy surrounding the distillery and are they using a diffuser or not. This is the flagship brand of that distillery, and so I suspect that they're not. But the column distillation makes sense to me. It would explain the smoothness on the entry and maybe the muted nose. But I like what the wood does for this. And see, that's the thing with, I've had tequilas in column distillation. And the one tequila that I remember specifically is Lapis tequila. It comes in that triangle bottle. Lapis is a combination of column distillation and pot still distillation. They combine the two. It's a blend. And so it kind of has the best of both worlds. I really enjoy that tequila. It's still one of my favorites to this day. But the column distillation, of course, is much more. They use it in rum and all all the white spirits, but it's efficient when it comes to tequila. I mean, you do your double distillation in one shot, literally.
Wow. Got a lot going on there, Reposado.
The wood really takes over, doesn't it?
No.
Still has that good lingering finish.
It's almost like an añejo.
You think that's due to the distillation or the wood? Or maybe a combination of both?
Could be a combination of both. It's got some nice deep tones. Some vanilla, some nuts.
I'm getting all of that. You're right. It's got that that añejo aftertaste to it. And I think what happened was that the column distillation lends itself to the wood, the barrel aging that it's going through. Because I get more barrel than I mean, maybe there's a little bit of the agave, but there's not a whole lot. It's really barrel that I'm tasting in this thing.
Yeah, a lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel.
It's much more. I would say the nose is much more complex now after with the aging of the barrels. It's helped a lot.
Oh yeah, from the Blanco.
It makes sense to me. I mean, it seems to me that right now, and it's a shame that we don't have the añejo and the extra añejo, because I would like to see what this progresses into.
Right.
You and I, we talked about Mexican moonshine, how it did the same thing. It progressed and progressed, and the Repo and the añejo just did it. They hit the home run, and then you understand why the Blanco was the way it was. I understand why this Blanco is the way it is, but I really, really now I'm really interested in tasting the añejo and the extra añejo. I want to know what this becomes, what this evolves into.
Right. This is a nice reposado.
It's beautiful to look at. It really is a good sipper. If you wanted to, you could probably you could pour this on the rocks.
Yeah,
Know.
It lends itself to it.
What do you think? Old fashioned? Do you think it would do the old fashioned thing?
I think so. It's a grown up reposado. That's what it is.
Doesn't need to be carded.
You don't mess around with it. You don't mess around with this one. This is for daddy.
Well, oh wow! I just got that caramel vanilla aftertaste. That just hit me. Wow. Yeah, if you let it open up a little bit more, you keep going back to it. It keeps showing you more and more.
Keeps rewarding you.
Yeah, definitely, it's a tequila to spend a lot of time with. Obviously, they manufactured and produced this tequila for you to look at, to enjoy. This one is more of the full experience, I think, that we were looking for, that we didn't get in the Blanco. But now I understand. Now that I've read the information on Facebook, which I wish, they would put that on their POS or on the box or whatever. But and for those of you who understand what column distillation does, now I get why the Blanco is the way it was, and I want to see. I'm putting glass bottom distributors on notice. I want the añejo and the extra añejo because I want to see what this evolves into. I bet that when we taste when we get the aged versions, we're really going to be surprised.
Very good. And that's where this Rebel's going.
Yeah,
Headed that way.
I feel terrible, folks, because we're cutting you off in the middle of the story. But as soon as we get the rest of the story, you'll see it here on Tequila Aficionado and Sipping Off the Cuff. I'm Mike Morales.
I'm Alex Perez. You're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on tequilaaficionado.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, sip wisely.